All right, folks, welcome to the Hen House, CockADoodle, and happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. We're just getting started with some Star Trek Fleet Command because I can't seem to finish this stuff. I wanted to know if Faction Hunt sucks as far as you're concerned. So I am. I do have opinions about Faction Hunt. I will tell you that. So let's see what we got. I am trying out Happy Tuesday. Happy it's not Monday. And kind of thing. So, Faction Hunt. I've long been someone who doesn't who thinks there are plenty of negatives to Faction Hunt. Um, I have to admit there are positives. I still think there's plenty of negatives. So I'm curious what people have to say. I saw people in the Alliance chatting about it some yesterday and this morning, I think, when I was able to see. And that let me know that because I thought it was mainly me who thought Faction Hunt kind of sucks. So you can see I have finished the Romulans, I finished the Federation hunting, and now I just need to close out the Klingons. So this is day 3 of Faction Hunt. 3 friggin' long days of Faction Hunt. The grind is terrible. The rewards are awesome. I agree, Norwich. The rewards are really good, and this is one of the few events where the rewards are so good that we are at least tempted to consider trying to do all the grind. So there's probably something to be said for that in general. So okay, there are really good rewards. The grind is horrendous. Um, maybe that is also a statement that a lot of the other events are crap and have crap rewards, and that we need things that are more on par with this more regularly so that we can then be a little more selective with our grind. Maybe that's part of the issue. I don't know. So I'm curious, but I encourage your comments. I think I hear a lot of that. Some people say, "Oh, I love Faction Hunt," and mainly they say the rewards are really good, and there is no denying the rewards are extremely helpful. Um, However, sometimes I feel I lose my soul in trying to complete Faction Hunt, and for a long time, honestly, I think it led to me and the original Battle Pass, which I think they really screwed the pooch on. Kind of drove me to actually take a multi-month break from the game and just stop playing because I felt like I was compelled to grind even when I didn't feel like it or lose the stuff. So I was like, better to not play, than to have to do that. But um, I've heard different people talking about just doing one, or just selectively doing it. And I guess if you're working on a faction lock or something, then the grind might be you might be able to be selective about it. However, if you do all of them, which is a pain in the rear times 3, then I think they tend to be a bit of a wash, particularly if you're trying not to hurt your faction rep. If you focus on non-transports, then that tends to improve things, in my opinion. Let's see, let's keep these ships going. I've kind of been working on a system for this. Um, System that doesn't make me hate my existence as much when we do it. So because clearly I'm not the biggest fan of Faction Hunt, but I do like the rewards. And if I skip enough of them, I miss the rewards. Anyway, we'll look at that. But my dailies, I managed to finish my dailies and all that. And I've done, I've ground out everything. So I don't need particular hostiles. I just need hostiles to give me points. I'm going to lose out on this one. So that's janky looking. Go to that. I can take 37s. I can take 38s. I can take 9s. This looks funky. Let's change screens. So we're testing out BlueStacks app for STFC, as well as let's see, that get in there. So people voicing that Faction Hunt sucks. Again, I agree. But I mean, I want the rewards and all that. I think I want it to take half the time. Doing one full one is plenty of work. And if I only did one, that's cool. But then, of course, you're really cutting into your rewards. And so often on the 3-day cycle for me on this, I do maybe I have one day where I get 3 done, and the other days I'm burnt. I'm burnt beyond crispy. This is the first time I'm going into day 3, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm actually gonna get this done." So I've been trying strategies to make it, like, less soul-sucking. But that's not probably what I wanna say about one of those games that I supposedly play for fun. So, I'm curious about your thoughts. May have to get something on YouTube about this as well. I'm not really sure, because I think it's an interesting discussion. The rewards are really good, um, but if we're trying to reduce some of our screen time and all that, I've had to be very attentive to this at the expense of other games I'd like to play or other things, and sometimes it can build some resentment. I mean, just resentment of me going, I don't want to play that game, that kind of thing. So the way they make it overlap and make it work can have some effect on how I feel about it, and I imagine I'm not alone. But it is a good thing to do. Star Trek is one of those mobile games that Fleet Command that is well, it's not unique. There are other games like Marvel Future Rev is another one like this, where you can play it for hours on end. This is one of the best games for me if I have insomnia and can't sleep in the middle of the night and going to be up for 3 hours, because I can just keep on grinding things and doing stuff, and mining and coordinating and running hostiles and all that. And there's usually something, because I don't have enough time to actually do everything that I might think I want to do. So this game has that. But when it comes to events should be somewhat achievable, or if you want to participate heavily in it, you want to feel like you can get that done. I'm not saying make it easy, but I'm saying, maybe, take some of the edge off, how far we have to go to complete each one, so that for people trying to complete all three, that it is a little more reasonable, you know. Um, so I mean, that's part of where I'm at with this. But again, I'm curious about you, and if you're seeing this later on, give us some info too. Um, I think this is a healthy discussion to have. We keep talking about reducing screen time and things like that, and this is one of those events where it doesn't do anything to reduce screen time, but yet it's also kind of rather important. Now, we got a bunch of officer XP as a reward and credits, faction credits, which are all good. And usually there's going to be some good officer events that come after it. So it's one of those things where not only if you underperform during faction hunt, you usually will also regret it during the officer events that they tend to pop up soon after, or domination events that are bound to come, where if you have an abundance of XP, of officer XP, you can get it completed that way. I think I used my officer XP during the last domination event not too long ago in order to get through that, so I didn't have to worry about it. And then now I'm building it back up with faction hunt. Um, so it's a thing where we kind of depend on it, and I don't know what I think about that. My current system is more of bringing these guys in, bringing about three of them into a system to work, and then using the other one, like the Mayflower, I've focused in the Klingon areas because of that Klingon bonus. So that's been part of what I've done. Now let's go ahead and resurrect this ship. Oh, thanks, Scopely. There we go. All right. I'll start repairing that. Figure out where we want to go. Let's see. The scroll is different. Again, we're on BlueStacks now. The way it moves, it actually moves more fluidly than the app does. So, I guess one piece of feedback for Scopely is, and I hate to say this because it doesn't actually sound very flattering, is to make the scrolling and movement at least as good as BlueStacks on your PC app. I feel like I'm pulling cotton through water to try to scroll around on the PC app compared to what I'm doing here. And we got a wild mime junior. Mime junior. I don't know if I have that or not, but we're gonna pokey catch premier ball. Go ahead and get it. So wait a minute. Okay, yeah. I was getting a little confused about what day we are in this. So one thing I have. Oh yeah, here we go. Glad I'm thinking about this now. I have the ability. Do I only need 90 points? I only need 90 points. Okay, so I'm ready to tier up my Burrell. And if I had gotten myself in that situation by the beginning of the day, I would have just tiered up the Burrell and improved the Klingon side, and I'd be done by now. Let's try to find. I know there's another part of this system where there should be some ships. Everybody and their mother is not trying to kill. What's funny is I'm in this system. I do not even care what. I'll take any explorer in the system. So that's so to me, I shouldn't have any problems getting stuff when I'm willing to kill anything. But okay, where's that? Is it Bristant that I need to go to? Okay, so this is janky, but it's not. I don't think that's any different. Yeah, I think it's. We just need a bit of points anyway. Nobody caught the bomb, Junior. Yeah. So for a second, I thought I had miscounted on my days of faction hunt because I get into a fugue state trying to complete faction hunt. Um, at this point, I'm resorting to drink and ranting on the internet. But so that makes it a normal day for most Americans, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm curious about people's thoughts. I think I'm hearing more acceptance that faction hunt is far less not fun. It is definitely not fun. Whereas before, I'd heard people didn't always make it sound like kind of like, oh, I love it. And it's like, well, what you really love is getting the rewards, not the work that you have to put into it. And so I think having it 3 days in a row, I mean, it's good. It does gives you an option. If it's intended to be work one of each throughout each day, then it's not that hard. It's just that um, it's hard to miss out on all the extra rewards if you don't try to do a triple completion for a total of 9 times in 3 days. But I easily want to take a break from the game. Um, Probably before I get that. Got a new song going on in here. I like it. And I think that might be it. Yes. So, my favorite site, we have completed them all. All right, there we go. Then those ships a packing. So, some of my questions and feedback for Scopely are people don't really like it. They like the rewards. Some people like the rewards enough that they don't find that they dislike it. Others say, well, the grind completely sucks, but the rewards are really good. So also, Scopely, just consider making other rewards better and spreading it out so we don't have soul sucking time. This it doesn't sound like I'm the only one who's affected by this. I'm curious about what other people have to say and what to think about it. But also perhaps make all consider all three factions, Romulan, Klingon, and Federation, as the whole package, and compare that to other events that span the days, where you make it take less screen time to get that done. Had to do all kinds of resource spending and things like that. Oh, absolutely. I refuse. I have a second account, and I've given up playing and spending for Scopely on that second account because I find it too unpleasant a task. So if you want to make it better, then maybe I do it on two accounts. I'll be more inspired to spend, and other people may be in the same way. If I find myself behind, sometimes I just decide to give myself a day off from playing the game. Those are things that Scopely doesn't want. They should make it so that at least less of the players are incentivized to give the day a skip. Don't log in, or whatever. So those are all things to think about. But I agree.